An extraordinary thing happened in New Orleans yesterday. The city of New Orleans partied while the Super Bowl was played. I'll get to that in just a moment. I'm Scoot, and this is the Daily Hit on the scootontheair.com website. Also, it's also on our YouTube channel, Scoot on the Air. In fact, if you're watching on YouTube and you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, I hope you will. It's free, and you'll get a notice every time we do something new. And this, again, is the Daily Hit. This is kind of a quick take on the top stories, whatever's going on. And I'll tell you, there was nothing bigger in the New Orleans area yesterday than what happened in New Orleans. But not only that, but even for those of you around the country, this was a very interesting phenomenon. And maybe it can only happen in New Orleans. I heard that a lot yesterday. But also, I want to remind you that this is the scootontheair.com website, and we're going to have daily information for you every day here, whether it's a video or a blog. So yesterday was Super Bowl Sunday. And while the nation was watching the Super Bowl, which turned out to be a very boring game between the Patriots and the Los Angeles Rams, as you know, because of a very questionable no call that really sent the Rams to the Super Bowl instead of the Saints. The city of New Orleans was in a mood to boycott the Super Bowl. And boy, it did. I was at many of the locations yesterday, went around the city and was just absolutely amazed. Started out going to Dat Dog. Dat Dog is an interesting restaurant on Magazine Street, the famed Magazine Street here in New Orleans. And the block was blocked off. They had a block party. They even had a dunking booth where a guy was dressed as an official, and you could, throw the ball and dunk the official, which kind of, I guess, was cathartic for a lot of people who were just so frustrated with that official's no call in the NFC Championship game. Anyway, so that was the first of the festivities. Then I go to Jackson Square, and at Jackson Square, there's this big second line parade that's organized. And I'm not really great at estimating crowds, but there were thousands and thousands of people there. And I got a sense right there in that parade and walking with some of the parade and doing video from the parade, I got a sense of how special this was. New Orleans and this area has always been known as a very resilient area. This area came back strong after Katrina. This area came back strong after the BP oil spill. This area comes back. We are resilient. But the disappointment of not going to the Super Bowl because of a questionable no call brought this city together in a way that I have never seen. Now, I'm from here. We have Mardi Gras. Mardi Gras brings us together. We've got Jazz Fest, French Quarter Fest. All of these things bring us together. There are many things that unite us. But following the travesty on turf in the NFC Championship game, I was stunned at the way this city came together. Now, New Orleans is one of the highest rated markets. New Orleans in this area is one of the highest rated NFL markets. Quite often during the regular season on Monday Night Football, New Orleans ranks third as the highest rated city, the highest rated metropolitan area, watching Monday Night Football. Third only behind the two teams that are actually playing in that game. So we love the NFL. And there would have been Super Bowl parties everywhere. Well, there were anti-Super Bowl parties. There were boycott the Super Bowl parties yesterday. And the sense of unity that I felt was just so inspiring. It was a human spirit. This is not something that is just unique to New Orleans. It does happen elsewhere in other communities. But it was so strong and so rich here yesterday that I was, I guess you could say, I was comforted by this reaction This united the city. This, I think, has the ability to unite the Saints next season. And as I've said before, the Saints have not always, even under Drew Brees and Sean Payton, the Saints have not always had a killer instinct. They haven't always put teams away when they could. Maybe this is the catalyst that creates that killer instinct around the Saints from beginning to the end of games. Now, that doesn't mean they're going to win every game, but I'm really looking forward to seeing what kind of magic descends upon this team, because there's certainly magic that has descended upon the city. And the unity that I felt yesterday was unprecedented. Then at Jackson Square, Jackson Square, then this parade. I mean, the street is filled with people. People are dressed. Some super fans were dressed in their costumes, and people were wearing T-shirts, and they were just dressed for the occasion. And it was all about the one thing that brings us together. And, as divided as we are as a community, like every other community, just really brought us all together. And then from there, the parade, then I went to do some video from the balcony of Felix's on Bourbon Street at the French Quarter. And at one point, Bourbon Street looked at least as crowded, maybe even more crowded than Mardi Gras Day. That's how many thousands and thousands of people were part of this second line parade. And from there, I went to the Boycott the Bowl concert with a group, the Vets, Dash Rip Rock, Fred LeBlanc from Cowboy Mouth, and others. Thousands paid. It was sold out. And then behind the stage and on the side of the stage, there were thousands more that couldn't get tickets, but they went there anyway. They were behind the stage just to be part of it. The turnout from this city was outstanding. And again, such a unifying factor. And then from there, from the Boycott the Bowl concert, I was with somebody who was doing video. And we had all of this on the Scoot on the Air Facebook page, also the WWL Radio Facebook page, so you can go back and see some of those videos. Then I go to Rock and Bowl, which is a rock venue bowling alley. It's a concert place and a bowling alley all in the same. It's a fun place. Rock and Bowl had the band Bag of Donuts. I've never heard them sound better, perhaps inspired by this incredible unity that the city was feeling. Rock and Bowl was packed. The fire marshal stopped clicking people at 1,200 and said, no more. Some people waited an hour to get in. They had to wait for people to leave before the fire marshal would let more in. So it was packed. In fact, Rock and Bowl was actually on many of the video screens throughout the area. They were replaying the 2010 Super Bowl between the Saints and the Colts from Miami. Saints won that Super Bowl. But people weren't really reliving the past in that way. It was nice to have that on, but I didn't see people reliving the past. I saw people celebrating this moment right here and now. They were celebrating who we are, the kind of community we are, the kind of fans we are. And I've never been more proud to be part of this city. I'm from here, raised here, but my career has taken me all over the country. I'm back in New Orleans now. I'm coming to you from my apartment in downtown New Orleans. I look out of my window and I see the rooftops of the houses and the businesses of the French Quarter. So I'm like 2 blocks away from the beginning of Bourbon Street in the French Quarter. And from all the things that I've experienced here, I don't know that I've ever been more proud of this city than I was yesterday. It was just an extraordinary thing. And I can't help but think that this is just a true embarrassment to the NFL because we wouldn't let it go. And it's not about whining. It's not about crying. It's not about, oh, well, we didn't get there because of a bad call. No, this was bigger than that. This no call was so blatantly obvious that it raised questions about the integrity of the league. Since the list of reasons the NFL might want the Rams in the Super Bowl over the Saints was overwhelming. The point is, yesterday we weren't living in the past, we were living in this moment. And the way the city came together has got to be an embarrassment to the NFL, which is why I don't think the NFL can move on without making a change in the offseason. I don't know what the change is going to be. There'll be restrictions. There'll be some criteria by which to judge whether or not coaches can challenge a call or a no call. But I think there will be changes. I don't think the NFL wants to change, but I think because of what happened yesterday and the leading up to what happened yesterday, I don't think the NFL is going to be able to not change. And it's going to make the game a better game. Anyway, I'm Scoot, really, really proud of the city of New Orleans. I hope you'll check on our website, scootontheair.com. I hope you'll check on that on a regular basis because Monday through Saturday between 9 and 10 New Orleans time, we've got fresh new content, either a video or a blog, and we'll be adding more and more things. There'll be a lot of other elements. We're just getting this website started, Scoot on the Air. Hope you'll join me there. Also, the YouTube channel is Scoot on the Air. And if you haven't become a member, please join up. And join me on my radio show. You can simply go to radio.com and then just type in WWL, and you can stream us. We have listeners from all over the country, and we welcome everybody to our show. Also, it's WWL, AM, FM, and WWL.com. But go to radio.com and just download that app and then just type in WWL. Have a great day. New Orleans, really proud of you.